it works.
When did you like? That's so interesting to me that you're able to now do production for non FGC stuff. When was the moment where something like that crossed your desk and you're like, wait a minute, holy crap! Like I can do work now for anybody as a production company. Like, was that an interesting revelation? Like, talk to me about that.
I think the first time we really got to do it, it was kind of pretty random. It was at a DreamHack event in 2022, DreamHack Atlanta, and DreamHack was just starting to come back in like December of 2022 or November. Can't remember the exact date, but yeah, we were going to stream fighting games there, and that was going to be on main stage in collaboration with one of my friends who was also my coworker. Um, she was having like a concert on there, and she was like, and I think somebody was like, yeah, we're having a Valorant tournament on there as well. And I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't make sense to switch teams up a whole bunch, so we'll just keep our guys on there. And we did like a dance crew battle or dance battle contest. We did a one person concert, and we just kind of figured it out. And and yeah, it kind of worked. And I was like, hey, yeah, we can do more of this stuff. And then we ended up doing more of that kind of stuff in the future. So yeah, I mean, whatever people need, we we try to figure it out. So
Yeah, so you're running a full blown production company these days under the guise of being a fighting game online tournament. It's like
yeah,
it's kind of like this
maybe.
whole secret company. Like most people, I would argue, who are going to see this in the FGC are like, oh, that's the guys who run the online tournaments, right? But
Yeah,
really, the business now is production company, right?
yeah. I mean, that's where most of our revenue comes from. I would say, yeah, out. Yeah, most of our revenue, like 80+% comes from
Wow.
broadcast production or event organization, outside of the house. So yeah.
Right. Well, I don't mean to put you on the spot with this, but you talk a lot about contributing to the FGC, and that seems to be a huge driving, motivating force in what you do, right? Like you employ tons of people from the FGC. I believe you're even doing like sponsorships for players to a degree. I think there's a lot of partnerships you've enabled to help get people fed in the FGC and to work in a lane for something that they really love and enjoy. But at the same time, it feels like the revenue comes from external sources.
Yeah, I mean,
Where do you see? How do you like rectify that? Like, there's a bit of a contradiction there, almost to a degree, right?
yeah, I mean, we definitely want to work hard to bring money into the community. So some of the things that we do are like, we set up players and events with deals so that way, a player might make an appearance fee, get their travel covered or whatever it is. We try to set up a lot of these gigs like that for as many people as possible. And we try to work with brands and sponsors to be like, hey, you know what, we could put this together and we can have some show matches and we'll pay these players this much money and we'll fly them out. So it's like a cool experience and try to spread some of the love, right? Try to pull some of that corporate dollar down and then kind of spread it amongst us. So, whether it's Street Fighter or other games, whatever game is, that they're interested in, we want to make sure that players are getting paid as much as possible. There's only so much money that we can raise through just like Matcherino. So, I mean, granted, there's a lot of Matcherino contributions in the past year. Big shouts to everybody who contributed. I think we raised over $100,000 last year just in Matcherino
Wow.
contributions for the online tournaments. But, there's more money that we can get for players and content creators who put a lot of, work and time into the space, right? This is their whole life. And everybody knows there's not enough money in fighting games. So I want to try to do the best that I can to kind of bring that over this way.
Mm.
So that's important. As one of those, one of my objectives when I started helping run some of these majors that exist now is trying to increase like how much volunteers get paid or how much, staff gets paid. I think most people that work staff at an event will tell you that pay has generally gone up, pre-COVID versus post-COVID when I started getting more
Wow.
involved. And I'm not here to take all the credit for that, but I'm just saying like, I just want to do what I can to try to push that, direction, as much as possible. So,
Wow. No, that's incredible. But I'm wondering, will there ever come a day where, hey, the biggest fish comes by, they want you to run the production, but hey, we got to leave that fighting game stuff behind, man. You got to come full time over here, all your attention. What do
uh,
you
you
think,
know, I,
Tong?
I don't think that could happen. I think, obviously we'll take gigs outside of fighting games as we do, but I don't think it will ever pull me away. So during the time, I don't even have the boba shop anymore. So we closed that last year as well. So now TNS is my sole focus. But during that time, I was also working at DreamHack full time,
Right.
and, they weren't paying me $1 million or anything like that. But like, it was a nice job, it was a comfy job, and it was working in video games, right? And it was some of it was working on fighting games, but I was really wanting to make sure that I focused on the community. And it came to be a choice where I could go help run Combo Breaker and make that the best event possible, or go to a DreamHack event and keep my job. And I was like, well, I don't need my job that bad. So I was like, I don't need the salary. I don't need the insurance. I do actually need the insurance. God, I miss health insurance. But, like I was like, the FGC matters more to me. You know what I mean? I'm very fortunate to be in the position that I'm in because, obviously I've been a business owner for like, I don't know, 100 years now. Um, and, I can just kind of focus on what's best for everyone instead of just what's best for me.
Hopefully you enjoyed that trash talk or extra trashy clip. If you want to see the full episode that clip came from, go ahead and click the link right over here. Otherwise, YouTube thinks you might enjoy this video right here. And for the trashiest amongst you, we get the merch right over there.
Yeah, that's right.